All right. I think I have my own audio on the screen right now. Maybe you can listen. I have my own stream muted. But I don't know if the audience can hear you, so I gotta find out a way to fix that. All right, hold on. Desktop audio 2. I did something right now. Just now. Hold on, I gotta save the settings. Apply. I'm so new to this whole streaming thing. Can you say something?
Oh, wait, I think I hear you on the stream.
The stream should be able to hear both of us right now. The stream right now. Maybe you can listen. I have my own stream muted. But I don't know if the audience can hear you, so I gotta find out a way to fix that. All right, hold on. Desktop audio 2. I did something right now. Just now. Hold on, I gotta save the settings.
Hey, I'm definitely hearing something.
I'm so new to this whole streaming thing. Hold on, right now. Can you say something?
Oh, wait, I think I hear you on the
Yeah, you're on stream. I could hear you on stream, so.
Oh, cool.
Nice. Okay, so this is the first time with me doing a call on stream with OBS. So if there are some issues, that maybe, I don't know. I'm really new to this whole OBS thing. Like the last time I live streamed, as I said yesterday, on stream, it was in 2018, I believe, which was back when YouTube had its own streaming program, so you didn't have to install any other streaming programs. You could just do it through Google Hangouts, I believe.
Okay, yeah, I actually muted the audio stream because I was hearing double and it was slightly
Definitely
distracting me.
All right, I see Corporate Curiosity can hear both of us. That's cool. I hope I can add Mango to the call. Okay, you're okay with Mango joining?
Yeah, I'm okay with anyone joining because it is.
All right, I'm calling him. Pick up. Hello, is that Mango?
Hello.
Oh, hold on. I think I accidentally kicked. I was already in a call with Kristen, but I think I accidentally kicked her out of the call.
Yeah, you'll need to make a group.
Yeah, okay, hold on, I'll add her.
I'm waiting. Let me know.
Alright, sorry, Kristen, I
that should fix
accidentally
it.
booted you when I was started to call Mango, so.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey.
Alright, 3 people, yay! Yesterday I was all alone,
Yay.
so I feel less lonely right now.
You were. Busy. I was gonna say, let me know if it's too windy, because I know it can get really annoying if it's windy and it just crashes everybody's eardrums.
Sure.
So, yeah.
So you're currently walking, Mango?
What?
You're currently walking?
Yes, I'm walking to the gym right now. Okay. So I'll just be walking for 10 minutes, 15 minutes maybe. Oh yeah, no, I have to recycle as well, so I'm gonna take just 15 minutes and then leave. Right. So I won't be here for too long.
I'm just gonna say that you guys are in call.
Yes, I hope everybody can hear us.
Yes, I think
they
can. They could at least hear me.
That's great.
I think they could hear Kristen as well, so probably you as well.
Yeah, I definitely hear you. I just have the call muted so that way I don't get the double audio thing.
All right. So yeah, it has been a while, hasn't it, Mango? We used to do these live calls all the time back in 2018.
Oh my god, we did. We really did.
Hold on, I gotta mute myself for a moment.
Yep.
All right. Sorry, someone walked into my room, so.
That's okay. It's quite interesting hearing you speak in another language, because I only know English, so.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna make a joke by speaking completely German, but then she kicked you out of the call, so I had to abort the joke.
Oh, yeah.
To say hello normally.
Yeah, because America's so big that we just aren't by any other countries besides Canada and Mexico, so we don't really pick up on any other languages unless we learn them ourselves.
Do you also
I mean, to be fair, the whole
Spanish,
United States is...
Wait, repeat that? You guys were talking at the same time.
Oh, Mango, you go first.
To be fair, the whole U.S. is as big as, like, Europe. Texas is as big as Spain, so...
Yeah, exactly.
I don't blame y'all.
So big that we just...
all right. Corvid Curiosity says that all audio is clear, so that's good.
Okay, good. Alex, what did you want to ask me?
I wanted to ask if you don't get, like, Spanish lessons or something because you're close to Mexico.
Oh, I'm in Michigan, so I'm nowhere close to Mexico, but
okay.
Yeah, we do get Spanish lessons in elementary school and high school, but that's about it. So unless we end up practicing by ourselves, we only get Spanish lessons like twice in our life for a few years, and it's very basic Spanish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even think the Spanish is effective. The one that you learn in school. Doesn't get you anywhere, at least.
Yeah.
No, because either we learn the Spain type of Spanish or the Mexican type of Spanish, which, again, we don't, if we're super, way north in the States like I am, you don't ever really have to use it super much. Except, well, no, there are some people from...
Mango, you're really windy right now.
Yeah.
Am I? Oh, yeah. Apologies. I'm gonna turn on the noise cancellation thing, because I turned it off a while ago, because I used to stream a lot, or join streams on this phone, but my voice quality was completely shit. So, let me just turn it on.
Yeah, that there are some people from Latin America and Mexico in Michigan, but not as much as if you lived in a more southern state like Arizona.
Okay. I've only ever been to, like, I believe California and maybe Arizona and Nevada. Like, I was in the West Coast when I visited the US. So mostly West Coast, and then a little bit inland, like Yosemite, Joshua Tree, those kind of national parks.
Yeah, I live in Michigan, so we sometimes hear a bit of Spanish, like if we're at the grocery store or something, but not, a ton, which is rather disappointing because, to me, anyone who knows a second language is automatically pretty cool, because that could be pretty hard, especially if English is not their native language.
Yeah, true. I mean, I know 3. I speak Dutch and German and English, and I don't know if Mango speaks many. I know he speaks English and Swedish, obviously.
I speak 6.
Sorry, Mango, I can't hear you. Your microphone quality is really bad.
Right. I speak, I mean, technically 6. If you only think about the fluent ones, it's 5.
Okay. Whoa, that's so many.
5? That's a lot.
Yeah. Yep. It's always awkward to bring it up when people are like, oh, wow, let's talk about how many languages you speak. I'm like, 6? I don't want to show off all too much. But I'm learning Italian at this moment.
Oh, that's cool. I know mostly some Spanish, but again, very basic because I haven't practiced in forever. And I know like a handful of German because I'm part German, but like that's about it.
Yeah.
Twinsies, I'm also part German.
Awesome. I'm probably not a part of any European except for like Russian. Anyway, you said earlier, what is it called? Native people who are natively English. The thing is, even though I have nothing to do with English-speaking countries, English is the language that I know best, so I always place it first in my language. What is it called? Language like comprehension and just
Yeah, right.
overall vocabulary.
Me too. Like I always usually go either first Dutch or first English. Like German was actually technically my second language because I learned it growing up. But I don't know, somehow my
Yeah,
English is just, despite being very largely self-taught. I mean, we do get English in classes in school, but most of it I just kind of taught myself by reading and watching movies and stuff. And yeah.
yeah.
Impressive
I always
because
joke about the fact that like, oh, sorry, go on.
oh no, sorry about that. Because English is pretty hard, especially with all the silent letters and everything. But I guess it does make sense because it is more of a Germanic type of language. I think it like branched off from that or something.
I mean,
Totally did.
English is at least very easy compared to Dutch and German. If you ask me, German is, I love the language, but it's so hard, and Dutch is also, it's a really tricky language.
Yeah, you guys don't have what is it called? Subject pronouns? I don't know what it's called. You just
Yeah,
have the.
I know it's
You
called
just have the.
Valley in German, but I don't know what it is called in English. But basically, they have like I believe like 6 or 9 different ways of saying "die" in German. Depending on the
Yeah,
word's gender.
because
So you have to go like der, den, das, die. There's like so many different words to say die in German. So
yeah, because you have the nominative ones. That's der, die, das, and then you have the accusative and then dative, which changes them completely. So you have to like learn that die is still die, but der turns into den or dame. I don't even remember. That was actually my weak
hard.
point in German. I got in like always the only weak point I've had is just conjugating the der into den or like turning accusative into dative. It's just a pain.
Yeah,
Jeez.
it's really difficult.
And here I am having trouble saying some plain old English words because there's some English words that even native English speakers cannot pronounce. We find it difficult. So
I mean, there's also some
I
quite a
always
few
find it
English words that I can pronounce. So, but that's probably because I'm Dutch.
yeah, funny enough, the reason why it's so easy, especially for young children to learn a second language easier. Go away! I don't want an update. Is that they actually have this thing called neuroplasticity in your brain, where the older you get, the less flexible your brain basically
Yeah,
is.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, we actually studied it in psychology, where even at like a few months, Japanese versus English speaking infants, they could only comprehend where, like, when they were first born, they could understand both English and Japanese sounds. But as they grew older, the Japanese infants had trouble comprehending more English sounds that weren't typically found in the Japanese language, like even by a few months.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's quite.
Yeah.
And actually, there's just one phenomenon where if they find a child in the woods, because this has actually been a study, and the child hasn't learned how to speak or a language by a certain amount of years, I don't know what the cutoff is. They can learn. They can basically learn a ton of English words, but because of that neural part of their brain is kind of gone, because the brain's like, oh, I don't need this, I can get rid of it. They can't really string them together.
Okay.
So it's quite
Yeah,
interesting.
it's like there's been like case studies. You're talking about the one from the forest. I'm thinking about the one where the dad locked a girl up in a room for like 14 years or something,
Oh, that's dark.
and she just had yeah, that's really dark. But like she had completely no language capabilities other from like verbally or nonverbal communication. So yeah, proves your point that like neuroplasticity is like a really big factor in learning languages when you're little. And to my like in my experience, I probably credit most of my language abilities from when I was little because I learned 3 languages when I was like under 3 years old. So and
Jeez.
like it just made it easier for me to learn. And
Yeah,
I
so
learned my actual home language, which I would actually call Swedish, I learned like fourth. I learned it after everything else,
Oh,
and it's
wow.
my second best language now after English.
Ah. Yeah, so it's quite interesting to me how languages tend to even just learning how to speak a language has a like cutoff date in the brain.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, I'm majoring in psychology, so of course I find brain stuff fascinating.
Yeah, I'm really into psychology as well. Like I really love like biases and stuff like that. But it's nothing academic though. It's only like a hobby thing. I'll get
Oh
into.
yeah, I'm in grad school to be a counselor in psychology, so
Ooh, grad school. Sick.
Let's go back
yeah.
to chat for a moment because I have been neglecting my audience. I'm so sorry. Um,
Oh yeah, sorry.
etc. speaks Spanish and sign language. Oh yeah, that's very cool. I've always wanted to learn sign language. But the thing
Oh,
is, we learn different sign languages. Like there's different speaking languages, but there's also different sign languages. Apparently, I didn't know that until
Yep.
recently. So you have ASL, which is American Sign Language, and you have Dutch Sign Language. So it's all different. And Covid Curiosity says, Manguydude, it has been a while. I haven't seen you since our taxi
It
summer.
has.
Or maybe Kimmy's? Kimmy's? I don't know who that is. Or maybe Ivama's. And,
Um,
oh, you go.
it has been a while. I don't remember. I think it was actually Artixie server because that's the last server I was actually like socially active on. Nowadays I just join a server and just sit there, don't even click it. I just hide it in one of my folders where I have like 50 servers. But yeah, that's just what I do.
And Covid Curiosity says, I can speak my second language, but I can understand it well. My mom talks to me in her native tongue. I respond back to English while she mixes English words into her sentences. Yeah, so that's kind of what I have with German, because I did take German classes. Like, it's mandatory in, at least in Dutch schools, to either take German classes or French classes for a few years, I believe. I actually did French for a few years as well, but that was because it was mandatory in the first 3 years, and you can choose to have German in your third or fourth year, I believe. Except I just forgot so much of it, but I can basically understand everything, like and read stuff. I can read or understand what someone is saying, but like holding an actual conversation is really difficult for me.
question though, if
Kind of
you
the same.
speak more than one language, what language do you think in?
To be honest, I think in English very much. I don't know if that's normal. I don't know what Manguydude does, but
To me, it's the same. I think in English most of the time, but I can also sometimes think in like all the other languages.
Yeah, that makes sense because I only really speak in English because again, that's the only language I'm really, actually competent in. Which I wish I was competent in more languages, but at the same time, it's like I don't really have the time to learn.
Yeah, and that's completely fine. If you don't really have a need for a language, it's like learning a language for the most part is more of a need thing rather than a want thing. Because if it is a want thing, you're gonna have to work really fucking. Oh, sorry, I can't cuss, but you're gonna have to work really hard to actually maintain your skills. The only reason I knew my languages that I do is because I needed to have them. Because like I speak Russian to my mom, I speak Arabic to my dad, I speak English literally anywhere else. I speak Swedish because that's where I live. Like I have a need to know these languages, so that's why it's easier for me to retain them at the same time as like to learn them as well. So like the people who just go on Duolingo and try to learn a language without being in a country or like a group that actually speaks it, it's going to be really hard to
yeah,
know that.
exactly.
Sorry if that sounds like really demotivating, because in reality it may be a little demotivating, but like the motivating part of it, the silver lining is at least that like it's really easy to learn language if you just surround yourself in it by, for example, like moving to the country or finding friends who speak the language and just like strictly only speaking it with them, even if it's like just a few words. Slowly but surely.
Mango, your mic is getting very bad on my end.
No, apologies. I have it in my pocket.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm
No, but
recycling.
yeah, that makes sense what you're saying, because yeah, it's definitely hard to, practicing the language if you're not, speaking it
Yeah, exactly.
with someone on the regular. Like, it can be doable, but it's a lot more difficult.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's see what the chat is saying.
Yeah, please do read out what the chat says, because I have my leather gloves on and it's annoying to take them off and then turn my phone on, click YouTube
Oh, okay.
to see what people
No,
say.
currently there are no new messages, so that's okay.
All right.
I can't believe I'm actually animating, or like, I guess this isn't animating, but working on another series again.
Oh god, you are? I don't even know what you've been up to. I've only like seen your tweets because of the algorithm. I just see your tweets and like some other people's tweets, even though I follow like 500 people.
Oh lol.
But I think it's pretty cool. I really like the development of your art style.
Oh, thank you. I'm really glad. Like, I actually
think it's
talked about
pretty
it a little bit in the stream yesterday. Like, I'm not sure if I sometimes like when my art is animated, but I think it's definitely getting better. Like, it at least looks better than the All in One style, if you ask me. But maybe you guys like All in One's better. I don't know.
It's a classic. I wouldn't say it's better or worse, because they have like different meanings, different feelings and emotions, I'd say. But that's like a really fancy pants answer. in terms of like the actual objective look, it's probably like better just due to like the experience, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, because like how many years has it been?
Actually, I posted about it on Twitter yesterday. My one's actually turns 10 years old next year. So, yay, party!
Yeah.
14th of December.
Crazy.
So we gotta hold a big streaming party by the time that happens.
Yeah, I mean, your art style's definitely improved. Yeah, the one thing I definitely do in my art style is I'm referencing like everything. Even like the smallest thing, I'm like, gotta find a reference for that. And I'm like, oh yeah, who knew that referencing things actually helps me draw them better?
It's so valid though. People mistake morally that like people think that referencing something and publishing it is as if you're tracing somebody's work and getting paid for it. Like they put it on the same moral high ground. Yeah, and like referencing can like it just gets you so far in your art. It's sad when I see people who don't. They just wing it every time, and they get stuck in like a bad habit, and they have to like relearn how to reference again.
I mean, that's kind of what happened with my All in One style. Like, I didn't reference for a lot of All in Ones, except for possibly the running cycles, which I just referenced from Balto animation sheets, to be honest. But you know, I'm for Outcast Grove, I'm using more like real life references to make everything look a little bit more anatomically accurate, because I don't know, my anatomy still isn't perfect, especially the legs.
The legs are a pain, but yeah, I mean, yesterday when I showed you that commission I was doing for you, I referenced the trees and the mountains, and I'm like, this is the best background I've ever made.
Yeah, but it looks
and
so
it was because
good, so that's great.
Thank you. I appreciate it, but yeah, it was like, wow, this is the best background I've ever made, and it was because I referenced everything.
I mean, I'm really bad at drawing backgrounds, but again, especially for Outcast Grove, I'm not going to try to make everything look marvelous, because I also want to put out this episode before the end of 2022. So, you know, I may actually get like background artists for Outcast Grove, but I don't know if anyone would be interested in joining. So, you know, I do have voice actors, which is nice, but I've only ever had one background artist before for All in Ones, who did like 3 backgrounds and then just kind of poofed into the oblivion. And,
well, if you ever need help with backgrounds, I also have what are you using, Firepack or Metabank? Because I mostly use Metabank Paint, but I also have Clip Studio.
I use
So
Fire Alpaca currently for pretty much all of my
okay,
drawing.
okay. Oh, there are actually. Do you know that this one artist, she recently put out a ton of brushes that I think work with Winnebang, maybe? There's like a ton of foliage brushes. I can see if I can send them to
Oh,
you,
that'd be
and
nice if
maybe
it is
they'll work.
legal, of course. If it is like something I have to buy, then. But if you can like download them for free and send them to me, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Her brushes are completely free. She actually has a YouTube channel. Let me put it in there because that's where she has all her brushes, and they're
Okay, you maybe
completely
send it in
free.
the Discord chat instead because I don't have chat replay. So when the stream like closes, I can't check the chat again. So only
Oh,
send it through Discord. And I have been
yeah.
neglecting the chat again. So I am just going to go quickly through the chat. Living in the middle of Virginia, no influencers here. Everyone speaks English. And etc. says, very hype. Thank you. I am very hype for anything you produce in the coming future as well. I hope still have my fingers crossed for a Painted Flowers sequel.
Hmm.
Professor says there is no cheating in art, even when they don't know where the misconception came from. Yeah, exactly. Like even tracing, like as long as you don't sell the art, or it can still be helpful. Like especially to learn like anatomy or shape breakdowns of like stuff like animals and stuff. Tracing can actually be very useful. Just like don't sell it and claim it as your own, obviously. But
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That's why I said. Sorry, it's gonna be loud. That's why I said when I gave the tracing example on like the moral high ground, like I said tracing and selling it. I didn't just say tracing altogether because tracing still has a function if you're just gonna do it as like a study type thing, just for
exactly.
your own sake.
Yeah. For me, what I've been doing actually to help, reference is I've been taking the references and breaking those down into simple shapes and then trying to recreate those simple shapes on like a different page. So I'm not tracing it. I'm just very heavily referencing it,
Oh, okay,
which
like that. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
yeah, and I've been super helpful because during my like senior year of either my junior or senior year of college, I had to take one art elective for like the gen ed stuff, and I decided to take a still life class because that was one of the art classes available, and I hated it. I did not like it, but it very much taught me how to break things down into basic shapes and see everything in more of a 3D way.
Oh yeah.
So I despised the class, but it was very, very useful. Like, as soon as I was out of that class and trying to draw.
Hold on, Kristen. I think you're cutting out. I can't hear you right now. Uh,
Aren't by
Rest in
any
peace.
other countries besides Canada.
I think I can hear Mango right now. No.
Yes, you're fine. It's just Kristen disappeared.
Oh, okay.
Sadly, she will
No.
be remembered.
Rip.
I was gonna joke. Wasn't your background artist just your camera in a random forest?
I
Because
mean,
that's like
for
the one main thing
90%
I remember.
for 90% of the series, yes, but there were like I believe 3 or 4 actual locations which were actually drawn because I couldn't find like a real life location based on it. Which was like the clan base and the caves like that and stuff, like Silky's cave and Rufus's cave. Those were all like
Oh
drawn
yeah.
by the background artist. I believe their name was Zia Hick or something like that. Sorry if I mispronounce it, but I lost contact with them years ago, so I don't know how they're doing. I just hope they're okay. But if I do decide to get another background team, yeah, who knows?
Who knows? I hope it goes well. I know some artists, but I don't think they're. Everyone I know is so busy with commissions and like everything else and their own stories. So, but I'll ask if there's anyone who can stand up as a background artist
Yeah, that'd
in
be nice.
case.
And otherwise, I may just open a casting call for it or something like that. I'm sure someone will
Yeah,
be like, "Hey, I wanna draw shit for you."
I hope so. I mean, I'm pretty sure at least somebody will think about it if you make a casting call.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I approve of that idea.
Nope.
All right,
Okay.
Kristen, we're hanging on.
All right. Oh, I see. Kristen has actually poofed. Okay. Goodbye, Kristen. Where are you? Oh, I see. Discord is being wonky.
Yeah.
Oh, and I see etc. is learning new fire alpaca tricks. How are you learning new tricks from me? You have been using it for way longer than I have. I believe
It's all
I believe most of painted flowers was done in a fire alpaca, and I have only been using it for like a year, 2 years tops.
Oop, now I also disappeared for a moment.
Oh dear. No, not Mango.
I'm here. It's like, you know, when you walk past a building that has like Wi-Fi that your phone apparently knows, and
Oh
it's like,
yeah,
oh,
like
let me
that.
connect to this Wi-Fi that's like barely working anyway. So I have to turn it off. Well, the reason it turned on is because I'm at the gym that I was supposed to be at, so
Oh, I see.
I'll have to leave in a minute. Or actually now. Uh, so yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun to be in the call for once,
Okay.
for a
I may
moment.
do more streams on the regular now that I'm working on Outcast Growth. So if you want to join those as well, just hit me up and we can do a call.
Yes, will do. I will message you about it then.
Awesome.
I'm usually really busy. It just happened like coincidentally that the time that you're streaming was like the 1 hour of the day that I actually have like some downtime.
Oh, nice.
But I'll see. I'll see in the future. These are really nice.
All right.
It's been nice talking to you.
Yes, thank
Welcome
you.
back, Kristen.
Oh, good. Okay, yeah, I don't know what happened there
All right.
for
Mango
a
was just
second.
about to leave.
Yes. We'll see you
Ah,
guys.
See ya.
bye. It was fun
Bye.
talking to you.
Bye. Likewise.
And
That
then
was
there
cool.
were only two.
He seemed nice.
Yeah, we used to like back when I was doing like a lot of streams in 2018, I believe, when I was streaming like Renegades, back when that was being finished, and stuff like Outcast Grove, concept art, which was for an older version of the story. Like I've completely reworked the story since then, but back then I also did some concept art. And Mango used to be like one of the regular streaming guests, like also in call and stuff.
Also, if you ever need help on background, or I can always help with that because I can like receive stuff through Metabang and Fire Alpaca because those are both compatible. But
Oh, nice.
plus, it would also help me practice more background. So
I mean, if you'd be up for it, sure, that'd be amazing.
yeah, because I mean, I'm just mostly doing art trades right now because like I don't get many commissions, so more practice.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I sometimes do trades, but usually I only do them with like Twitter mutuals or DeviantArt mutuals, or I can't pronounce that word. Mutuals? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, mutuals.
Okay, yeah, I usually only do trades with like friends or mutuals because I've had it quite a few times happen that I just do a trade and people like don't turn in their piece or they're like really extremely late. And I mean, I don't mind waiting for a little bit, but I mean, if I have to wait like half a year for an art trade half or even just never end up getting it, that's just a little bit long.
Right. That makes sense. I actually need to work on a few art trades today and finish those up because it's like I don't want people to wait longer than a week because I feel like that's a bit too long. And I kind of got behind because I didn't expect to be so busy this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I basically went home for my dad's birthday and everything, so
Oh, happy
I was
birthday
like,
to him.
yeah, he's 63 now, so he definitely gets those senior discounts.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I basically went home for the weekend and was super busy with that. So when I came back, I was like, oh no. But so I just messaged everyone saying, like, hey, I haven't forgotten the art trade. I was just super busy this week, but I am going to get it to you just to let them know that, I haven't forgotten.
Yeah, exactly. Like even for commissions, I see a lot of people that take a lot of time, and I have never, I believe, finished a commission in longer than 3 weeks time, which is like my the deadline I set for myself to finish a commission, unless it's like something really big, like an animation or a character appearance in all at once, which obviously you would just have to wait until there was like an opportunity for a background character. But if it's like a direct commission, like just a drawing or whatever, I just have this deadline for myself. 3 weeks, 3 weeks stops, and I don't think I have ever broken that rule. So
It's good. Yeah, for me, I usually plan even the big commissions, like the one I'm doing for you, takes about like 1 to 2 weeks, and because a headshot, fully colored and shaded and everything, for me, if I have enough time, I can do it in roughly a day. But yeah, but if I know a commission is going to take longer than I planned, I at least message the client to let them know that I haven't forgotten them.
yeah, exactly. I do
Things
the
are
same.
just being held up. Because it's like, you should at least do that so
Yeah.
the client knows that you're working or like something came up.
Yeah, just I always give an update, even if something comes up, like I become sick or whatever. Even with me being sick, sometimes I don't think I have ever broken the deadline. But I do still message people like, "Hey, I'm sick. Stuff may be delayed."
Right. Because to me, like most clients are fine as long as you give them an update
Yeah,
so
exactly.
they know you're working on it. It won't take forever.
Yeah,
That's also why I don't take people's money right away, is because I feel like it pressures me more to finish it fast, which I want to take my time and make sure it looks good, and B, then like that way if something happens and I can't finish the commission, then we won't have to go through the whole process of a refund and
yeah, okay, that's true.
everything. Yeah, but I usually just do a huge watermark when I say, okay, here's what it's going to look like finished. But once you give me the commission, once you pay me, I will take off the giant watermark that obscures everything.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's go back for chat for a minute. Etc. says the way you do shading lighting. Oh, I really just do like a little bit of airbrushing or just use the gradient tool or whatever. It's it's not that hard. It's I'm too lazy to shade properly, so I just use some little bit of highlights to just add some atmosphere. But I really don't do anything more than that because I just can't. I don't really. I'm too lazy, and I also just can't shade properly. I mean, I try to do like the whole position the light stuff, but I just never figured out how to do it properly. I mean, I tried in All I Want's episode 4, as you may have noticed, but it looked god awful, so I instantly got rid of it in episode 5. And COVID Curiosity says, I love the way you draw that rabbit. Thank you. And etc. said bye. I don't know if that is to us or to Mango. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. Yeah, the way I shade, I just actually do what Galemtido does, in that I usually use one color and then I use, multiply and adjust the opaquity, because the one thing I've learned from doing art is to never shade with black
Yeah,
and turn
I do
down
know
the
that trick. That's
opaquity.
the one I did pick up on. But other than that,
I mean, I think I have. Also, I tend to look up. There's actually references online for how to shade and stuff, so I usually also look at those if I'm stuck.
I love the way Galamtido does her. What are her pronouns? I believe it is she, her. Galamtido.
I believe it's she/her.
Yeah, I love the way she does her shading. She does their shading. No, I'm doing both. I love the way Galamtido does her shading. It looks great. I wish I could. Like, I know she used Fire Alpaca for like a really long time. I believe recently they've been using Photoshop, but like they used Fire Alpaca for most of the Stolen Hope, I believe. And I've always been so jealous of how she shades. Like, give me your skills.
Like, teach me your ways, give me your secrets.
Yeah, exactly. Like, people can be so talented, especially at shading, like, and backgrounds too. I'm really bad at both of those. So each time people do it really well, I'm like, master, please teach me.
I just figured out backgrounds, and again, just a ton of it is just, for me, a ton of it I just learned is breaking it down in basic shapes, basic 3D shapes, and then just modify them. Like the mountains I did, I made just cones of varying heights, and then I actually turned, the anti-analyzing thing to make your pin more stable?
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I turn that all the way down to 0 so I can get that jittery effect that I want
Okay.
to make it look more natural, if that makes sense. Because that's what I sometimes do with bushes, where I'm like, let me just turn this all the way down so that way my lines are more uneven versus, them trying to correct themselves and be even,
Oh
if
yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, also, hopefully the brushes I give you are gonna work for Metabang. If not,
It's
I
for
can
your
see if I
work
can
actually.
find. Right, but they should work for both.
Oh, okay,
So,
that's good.
but if they don't, I do remember getting some foliage brushes for Metabang or Firepack a while back. There's this program you can download called ABR Mate.
Mm-hmm.
It's free and it converts Photoshop brushes into brushes you can use for Fire Alpaca.
Oh, that'd be really cool. Mango is
Yeah.
back in the chat at least. Some of my friends look down upon black line art and use a darker version of the main color. I do I do use black line art for most of my art, but if I want to do like a more serious art piece, like obviously not Outcast Grove or like frames for animations or whatever, because I'm just too lazy and can't be bothered to actually put a lot of effort in those. Because I want to get stuff done quite quickly. For like more serious art pieces, I will usually do like a darker version of the main color, like for one eye, for example, dark gray or whatever. For Lynn, dark brown, that kind of stuff. But that's only for more serious art pieces, because I just can't be bothered to do it for like frames and stuff. Like if people do it, that's obviously awesome. Especially if they can like their animations and stuff really detailed. I just don't have the energy to do all that. I'm just like, I want to get stuff done really soon, and I don't know, things may look worse that way, but I don't know. I mean, All at Once doesn't look fantastic, but I did at least get it done, So
Yeah. I mean, your layout looks perfectly fine. For me, I tend to use like more dark colors for my line art. Like, sometimes I use dark brown, other times I use dark blue or dark purple. It really depends on the character because I actually feel that, for me at least, that looks better than when I use black line art. If I use more of a darker color, but it's not completely black.
oh yeah. Let's go back to the chat
But
for a moment. Hold on, you go first.
oh no, sorry. This always happens in my Zoom classes too, where everyone tends to talk over each other
Yeah,
because we're not
exactly.
face to face. But yeah, I'm actually really excited for Outcast Grove and stuff because it just seems so cool. Because especially because dogs. Like, what's not to like about dogs?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's mostly wolves actually. Season 1 is mostly dog. Like it takes place in an abandoned amusement park, which is mostly inhabited by dogs. But starting season 2, we really get to the wolf side of things. And the main characters are actually like one is a wolf, one is another wolf, and one is a wolf dog. Like our secondary main character for season 1 is a wolf dog. But it's both, I guess. Shadow
Ooh.
over here, the black eye I'm drawing, the black wolf dude. He is actually like a wolf dog. I believe he is like mostly wolf, like three quarters wolf or something, and he's like 1/3 husky, I believe.
Oh wow, that's pretty neat. Yeah, like please tell me about your OCs because most of my OCs are people. So as I said, sometimes I feel like that's kind of boring.
I mean, I did have people OCs in the past, like trying to when I try to write another story and stuff, but somehow I can just never stay engaged whenever my own OCs are people. Enough. Like I do like my cool characters, but somehow I just don't stay invested enough to really do anything with them. And also the fact aside that I can draw humans, so I can't exactly draw them.
Eh.
But Yeah, I just never really stay invested. But I've always been really more interested in like animal centric media, like the Disney movies. I always only watched the animal centric Disney movies as a kid. Like even the my favorite Disney movies currently are Treasure Planet, and The Hunchback of Notre Dame. But even those, I just didn't end up watching until like my late teens, just because my parents only got me the animal centric Disney movies. So
Same.
but I've always I do like people stories. Obviously, like if other people have like stories with human characters, that's totally fine. I can really get into those. But I've always really navigated more towards gravitated. That's the right word. More towards xenofiction, and then xenofiction with animals in particular. That's I I guess it's just always kind of been one of my interests. So yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense, especially with the animals. You can also be a bit more creative with those, where they can have, different words for, simple human things,
Yeah,
which I
exactly.
find quite fun. But if you ever want to learn how to draw people, I can also recommend you a YouTube channel by this one guy called Mark Crilly. He has great how to draw videos that are super easy to follow, because he's how I learned to first draw people. Like,
Oh, that's
I
cool.
wasn't the best at it. It's his YouTube channel is Mark Crilly. He also does a lot of realistic art as well, which is pretty neat. And
Oh,
he does it all step by step. He teaches you. He does animals, people. He teaches you how to do backgrounds and perspective. His art channel is great.
oh, that sounds great.
There's also the Art of Aaron Blaze, which is another YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, I know
It's
Aaron Blaze. I'm subscribed, I believe.
Oh, me too. Yeah, because he used to work at Disney, which is awesome.
Yeah, he worked on like the Lion King and Brother Bear, I believe.
And he also worked on the tiger from Aladdin. So,
Oh, that's great.
yeah, to me, that's just awesome because it's like, oh, cool, another, way I can learn to draw animals. So I've mostly been following some of his style guide when it comes to drawing animals. Just how I make the eyes now, because I used to draw in a more manga-ish style, but now I'm like slowly morphing over into more Disney-esque style.
Okay. Yeah, there's really no consistency with how I draw my eyes. Like sometimes I draw them more like real animals, sometimes I draw them really cartoony, sometimes I draw them more like manga or anime. There is absolutely no consistency with my eye style whatsoever.
Uh, yeah, I just do the typical Disney where it's like a half circle
Oh yeah.
type thing, which it took me a while to figure out how to do that because I just didn't get it. But again, after I took that one still life class, I was like, wait a minute, I know how to draw this now. And I was like, oh my gosh, this part of my brain felt like it just unlocked this entire, skill set.
Nice.
uh,
All right, hold on. I've been ignoring the chat again. Oh, Manguydude says that he's listening to us as a podcast. All right. Yay, we're in a podcast, I guess. Or apparently we're being listened to as if we are a podcast. And sorry if I mispronounce your name. Corvid Curiosity says shading is a tough part, and just never had a problem. Oh, that's really good that you have a good sense of lighting. I just absolutely do not, for the life of me. I
try
mean,
my best
like
to be
I
like,
really look up to people who can like do backgrounds and shading. It's like all of you are masters and I'm just a noob. I guess I can draw file scenes though, which a lot of people cannot. So I mean,
for
the
me,
fun thing about learning how to draw file scenes, especially if you're used to drawing canines, is basically that you have to forget literally everything you've ever learned about canine anatomy because thylacines aren't canines, but they also just their leg anatomy is completely different. It's so weird. Like if you look at my really old thylacine art back in 2015 when I first started drawing them, it looked really awful. But at the same time, I was like still drawing wolves constantly back then, and then I got obsessed with thylacines. This was before my persona was a thylacine. So I was like, I was just trying to teach myself, and it took me like a few years to get it right. But currently, I'm quite happy with where my thylacine drawing style is at. Like, it's still not perfect, but and especially from certain angles, I just don't know how to do the legs. But the thing is, with thylacine anatomy, is that are quite few photos and stuff to reference from because yeah, they're obviously extinct. So you can only really use photos and taxidermy as reference. So Yeah.
Yeah, like when I was looking for a reference photo, I was trying to look for one just laying down, which I thought would be easy to find, but it wasn't. I was like, "Where is it?"
I mean,
So
there
I
are
had
quite a
to.
few photos of Phyllis laying down, but they are all like in like flopped sideways position. So
Right, right.
yeah, so
And yeah, and I didn't want that, so I'm like, well, let's just see how this works out.
yeah, yeah. They're especially like their front legs are already kind of goofy. Like for example, their what do you call those? Like the dew claws, like the thumbs. Like on wolves and dogs and stuff, they are like really high up on the leg.
Uh,
But like for a thylacine, they're like so low down that they practically touch the ground sometimes. So they're closer to like they kind of look like more like hands than dog paws sometimes. So that's really funny.
that is pretty funny, yeah, because like they're like marsupials, but they're also like very strange marsupials. So it's like, what is this?
Yeah,
But
they look really
yeah.
really weird. But I honestly think they're quite perfect for my persona. So I'm really glad I have my persona. Like my persona used to be Lynn from All at Once. Back in the day, back when she was like back when I had a wolf persona. But obviously, I kind of felt disconnected from her after a while. And then I grew obsessed with thylacines in 2015, and after that, I just kind of made myself a thylacine OC, and pretty much stuck and became like, my persona after a while. So
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty neat animals, especially because like I recently found out they can actually stand on their hind legs like a kangaroo, and it's
yeah,
like,
no, it's really cool.
wow, that's something you don't see every day.
Yeah, that's also why kind of like whenever I draw, I like for my head worlds, the thylacines, I kind of take some liberties with them. Like, for example, they can stand and walk upright for like a long time. They can like jump like kangaroos. Real thylacines probably didn't do that, but then again, we know so little about the animal. People can't always disprove you, so you know.
I mean, kangaroos and other marsupials are kind of the closest thing we have, which the only marsupial we have in the US are possums. So,
Yeah, that's true. And we have absolutely none in the Netherlands, I believe, unless you count like I don't know. I believe we do have like pet sugar gliders, but like no in the wild, I believe. So
uh, yeah, and if you've ever seen the US possum, for some reason Australia got the cute possum and we got the scary looking possum.
oh, I love your possums as well. Actually, I think they're really cute.
Well, they're less cute when you see one on the highway just staring at you with its glowing eyes like, what is that?
All right, hold on. I
Uh,
gotta look at the script for a moment. All right. I think I will do one more sketch. Like I won't do the full frame, but I think I'll do one more sketch because it's getting late, and I have to go to bed in an hour. I know it's really early, but I have like really long full-time internships. Like you obviously don't know how late it is over here, but it's I go to bed at about 8:30, 9 o'clock in the evening, simply because I have like a full-time internship, and it's just really exhausting. And especially since I also have like stream in the evenings right now, because I want to get Outcast Grove done soon. I feel like it's quite. I'm doing a lot of work in one day, especially since I'm also drawing in the evenings for Outcast Grove. So I go to bed early, and I especially need a lot of sleep. I oftentimes like lay awake like 2 hours at least each night. So if I go to bed like uh, at at 9:30, I at least have like 10 hours to sleep instead of 8, which I may miss 2 hours from because I just lay awake. So yeah.
yeah, I get that. I actually have your time on my world clock phone so I can, tell when an appropriate time to contact you if I ever need to, contact you for like commission work or something is.
Oh
So
yeah,
I
that's
don't
cool.
end up messaging you at like 3 in the morning your time.
I mean, you could message me. I have Discord notifications on, so I like don't get a notification or anything. But all right. What? Hold on. Let me look at the chat. What is something you always wanted to animate but couldn't? Do you to your skill? big fight scenes. Like I tried in All I Want episode 5, but it looked really awful. So I just kind of didn't write another fight scene. Like kind of wanted to have one in episode 11, like the final episode before the epilogue, but I just kind of scrapped it and had it just be really off screen and stuff, because I just didn't want to animate another fight scene like in episode 5. It was just too much. And I mean, I'd love to be able to animate like big elaborate fight scenes, but it's just too much work. American possums are adorable. I also think I think European badgers are cuter than American badgers. I'm sorry. I guess I'm biased, but I think they're cute.
No, American Badgers look scary. Like, they legit look like something from Breaking Bad, that one TV show. Like, if you've ever seen that show, but
No, I haven't seen
they
it.
look because it's all about. It's funny because Breaking Bad would only occur in America because of our awful healthcare system. If it was in any other country besides America, that show wouldn't even have existed because the main character would have been able to get the cancer treatment he needed instead of, having to sell meth to
Oh
not
dear.
go broke. So, yeah, basically, Breaking Bad is about this wonderful teacher becoming an evil meth dealer. Like, that's literally his progression, is becoming a villain,
Okay.
and he has to sell meth in order to pay for his cancer treatment, because in the US, cancer treatment can leave you broke so fast. Like, you can literally have a ton of life savings for retirement, but if you get cancer in the US, you can immediately have nothing in a few months and then go into debt a few months after that. Like, our healthcare system is awful.
Oh wow. Yeah, I did hear things about it. Like obviously I'm really not used to it, obviously, since Netherlands and stuff, but I do hear like a lot of things about it, like also on Tumblr and stuff, just about like how weird your medical system is. Like I don't fully understand how your medical system works, but to be fair, I also don't completely understand how the Dutch one works yet, so I guess I don't understand both, but
I'm American and I don't understand how our healthcare system works. All I know is that insulin, aka a medicine people need to literally live, costs $700
holy shit.
per month
That's
in the US.
insane.
And originally it was patented for $1 because the guy who invented it knew that people would need it or they'd die. But the US healthcare system saw it and was like, hey, people are going to need this or they're going to die, so we can hike the price out of it because they're going to have to buy it.
Oh, that's awful.
It is. Like, and in Canada, insulin is what, $20 a vial? It's like,
That's
so
ridiculous.
some
Holy
people.
shit.
So some people in the US go over to Canada to illegally buy insulin there so they don't die.
Whoa. I had no idea it was that bad. Like I did hear something about the insulin thing, but I didn't know it was that bad.
It's really bad. Like, US healthcare system is awful.
Oh
So
dear.
don't ever get injured in the US because you will get a huge hospital bill that even with insurance, good luck paying that.
Oh dear. Alright, well, I guess I'm happy I'm in Europe then. For now, at
Yeah,
least.
I
Like,
am.
I used to want to move to the Americas so bad, like a few years ago, but I don't know, then Trump got elected, and now I'm hearing all this stuff about the system, like the healthcare system, so maybe it's not so great after all.
It's not like America has a lot of problems, not to mention, the racism that we still have yet to fix, among other issues in our system.
Yeah.
So, yeah, America's a nice place to live sometimes, but it always has its own issues where I just want universal health care already so I don't go broke if I ever need, more surgeries or anything.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've been to the US for like a holiday, but I don't think I'll be living there anytime soon, or ever probably. I think that if I decide to move, like I do sometimes like daydream about moving elsewhere outside of the Netherlands, but I don't know where I would move, but probably not the US anymore.
I've heard Spain is pretty nice, and not to mention US minimum wage. where our minimum wage is so low that even though minimum wage was made, was originally made so a person working minimum wage could support a family of 4 on their own. It's so bad now that the U.S. minimum wage is around less than $15 an hour, but if it adjusted for inflation correctly, it would now have to be over $20 an hour.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah, U.S. minimum wage, we do not pay our workers enough to survive on one job alone. They often have to have 2 or 3 jobs just to pay the bills. It's not great.
Oh, that's so. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying the Netherlands has no problems. We also have a lot of issues, also the racism stuff, and stuff like that. But you know, it's. I guess at least we have healthcare. Yay. I honestly don't know how the minimum wage is over here. So I mean, I honestly don't know. Like for my internship that I'm currently doing, I do get paid, but it's below the minimum wage. But that's because I'm an intern, so I don't really like. They don't even have to pay me. Like I've done a lot of internships before this one, for my different college courses, and I actually just didn't get paid. Like I don't know if payment is mandatory for internees in the US, but over here you can just be an intern
It
and
isn't.
not get paid.
It isn't. U.S. doesn't. You do not have to pay interns depending on what internship you're in
Okay.
the U.S. But also there are people in the U.S. who will sometimes ask people if they're. Well, sometimes if a person gets injured in the U.S., they will specifically ask people not to call an ambulance, so that way they do not have to pay the huge fee for the ambulance ride.
Whoa.
So in the U.S., when we get hurt, we actually try to avoid getting an ambulance because otherwise it's going to cost us. It's not good.
Oh no, that's absolutely not good. I think I am going to about end the stream, so I'll just take one last time a look at the chat, and then I think I'll end the stream here for today. I may stream again tomorrow at about the same time, so if anyone is available then, Mangu, Kristen, etc., feel free to tell me. So, alright, let's look at the chat. Walmart has over-the-counter insulin. I did not know that. Nicolas Swart says, I love all low ones. Thank you. $600 for one ambulance. Holy shit. 50k for childbirth. I didn't know things were this bad. Netherlands are #1 in some things. Okay, that's nice. Paid internships. Yeah, this is actually my first. Alright, I'm just going to be very short right now because, you know, stuff is about to end. But yeah, this is my first internship where I get paid. But it's obviously below the minimum wage, but I do get paid, which is really nice after like I've done like I believe 5 years of internships, like not full-time internships, but you know like a few months internships per year, which all wasn't paid. And since it was like animal courses, college courses I was taking for like zookeeping and stuff, it was like really hard work or farm work or whatever. So it was really labor intensive, and I just would not get paid and often be miserable because you know, autism, I'd get overstimulated and stuff. So yeah, that really wasn't nice. And I didn't even end up getting paid for it. But currently I'm doing a really fun internship. It's not animal related, but I'm having a lot of fun, and I do actually get paid. So even if it is below the minimum wage, I don't care. I'm just happy to get paid at least for my internship.
Makes sense. Well, it was very nice to join the stream. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, sure. I hope to have you
Yeah.
on another time again. Both you, Mango, whatever.
Yeah, I definitely hope to join another time if I have time.
Awesome. All right. So thank you all for joining. Also, everyone in chat. Yeah. I don't know if I'll be streaming this around like 6 o'clock CEST tomorrow, but I may, and if I don't do it tomorrow, I may do it on Friday, because on Fridays I get out for my internship early, so I often have more time to stream. So yeah, I hope to see y'all later, and to keep working on Outcast growth, because these streams keep me really motivated. So yeah, thank you all for joining, and bye! How do I stop the stream?